Hey, welcome back for another little Walking Dead thing right after the episode I do. This episode is Season 3, Episode 6. I have it right here on the notes. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what that was. But anyways, let's get into it. This is a spoiler-based thing, if you just want to know what happened, pretty much. So, let's get into it. Merle... Okay, let's just pop right into it, just like I said. So, we start with Merle hunting down Michonne. Michonne, because they're hunting her down, because Woodbury doesn't want anybody on the outside to know that Woodbury is there. They just don't want any secrets about Woodbury or any rumors about this secret Woodbury place. So, Merle's hunting her down with a big group. So, that's it for them for a bit. Then we go on to Andrea. Andrea talks to the governor. She wants to go onto the wall because she was a good shot. She wants to stay that way. So, she gets her way because because the governor likes Andrea. So, she goes onto the wall for a bit. She's training a little bit, as you could say. So, there's a girl. She's sitting down with a girl. They're talking about the past. And Andrea Okay, and then they're pretty much talking for a bit. Then a walker comes up. She jumped over the gate and kills a zombie hand to hand. They say they don't want to do that. They never do that because it's really not safe to go over the barrier. Andrea gets called in to the governor. The governor doesn't want her to do that. So they just talk about the past a little bit more, and that's it for them for a bit. Let me just go down because I'm just skipping past a little bit. Okay, here we go again. So, it goes back to the prison. Rick is talking about... Okay. Rick was on the phone for a bit. He was hearing this girl on the phone. We don't know at that point. I'm not going to say who it is. But he's talking to a girl on the phone. Nobody knows who her name is right now. They say... On the other line, the girl's saying, we have this safe group, blah blah blah, we were just calling random numbers to see if anybody would pick up. So that's that for a bit. The girl on the other line, she wants to know a little bit about Rick, but Rick wants to keep on going, trying to get into their group. The other girl says, maybe I'll have to talk to the other people in our group. So, that's all fun and good. Or all good for that. So they hang up. Herschel comes in a little bit later on. Says to Rick says to Herschel, somebody called on this phone over here, like just off to the side. Herschel picks up the phone, says something, just probably because it looks in his face that nothing was on the phone. He couldn't hear anything or anything, which that means that I think that he doesn't hear anything and he knows that Rick's hallucinating pretty much. So that's it for a bit. Rick makes Herschel leave, so he just gets pushed off to the side again. Blah blah blah. Okay, let me just see here again. Merle finds. Okay. Here's another part of Merle. Merle and his group. I can't remember what I said a little bit ago, but Merle was hunting Michonne. When they caught up to Michonne, or when they found some body parts, some of Merle's group got killed off of Michonne. So Merle and one other person, because there's only two of them now, they run after Michonne. Michonne traps them pretty much. All zombies surround them. Michonne's down there too. And, like, I can't really say what happens. A big fight scene. Michonne escapes. Merle and the other buddy kills off the remaining of the zombies. So, Michonne's out of the picture for now. And then, I'm not gonna really say, but afterwards there's only one more of Merle's group, because it's a little bit spoiler based there. There's one more of Merle's group, because Merle's the only one remaining right now. So Merle just keeps on running after, because he's really the second man of the governor. He doesn't want to show weakness in the group. So he just keeps on continuing to run after her. So let's keep on going. Daryl in the prison. Okay, so you see Daryl in the prison. He's just clearing out everything pretty much, just seeing if everything's secure with Carl and another prisoner, the black one. I just can't remember his name. And I know I might be sounding racist or whatever. And the Merle goes back, talks about, okay, I did that. Merle tries to go back to the blah blah blah. Okay. Merle finds new. Okay, Michonne, after the big fight scene, she gets a whole bunch of zombie blood all over her, which we already know from Season 1, Guts, which I'm pretty sure that's the episode name. But in that, they find out if you put zombie blood and guts and everything on you, you're pretty much hidden from all the zombies. So she finds new camo, pretty much, instead of having two walkers right behind her, pretty much. Rick... I'm just seeing through my notes. Phone knows who his name is. Okay, at this point, Rick's just waiting for another phone call, and he gets one. He, like, picks it up, and he talks to somebody for a bit. And at that point, we know that the other person on the other line knows his name. Then, once Rick's asked who they are, they just hang up. So that's it for a bit. Then we find Maggie and Glenn onto a run, like, into town, into a nearby town, trying to find baby food and everything for the group. And Merle finds them. Big surprise, whatnot. Merle finds them, tells them, you have to come with me, or else you're pretty much dead. They go to Woodbury, which I'm expecting because he says, I need you to, we're going somewhere, and I know where we're going. So that's it for them for a bit. Then he goes, and during that time, just saying, Michonne's looking at them. She's looking right at the big fight, or whatever. And then we get to a love interest with the governor and Andrea. Andrea likes the governor likes her. There we go. They kiss, then there's a big scene at the end where they're pretty much having sex. Which that's, if you don't want to know that, then you already know now. So, that keeps on going on. And then it goes with Daryl. Daryl, as we know, is clearing out the prison, finding new things, and he finds Carol's knife, which I remember a few episodes ago, I actually was saying her name as Carly or something like that. Carol. That's her name. I got a little feedback from somebody who I was talking to. So, they find Carol's knife, and then Daryl was looking around the prison, and this is a big spoiler, but I'm just going to say it. We found Carol, or Daryl found Carol. So, if you don't want to know, you already know now. So, then it goes back to Rick. Rick finds out who's actually on the other line of the phone. And I'm just going to say it at the very end of the episode here. So, Rick finds out who's on the other line, which I'm going to say again. Merle talks. Okay. Merle goes back to the camp with Glenn and Maggie, and he talks to the governor. The governor, they're talking about how they're going to find out where the camp of Glenn and Maggie's group is. So, I'm expecting a few things going to happen, like torture or whatnot, but we don't know yet. Then, blah blah blah. Oh, okay. Then the very last scene of the show is another big drop-off, like a big clip. Just, you want to know what happens, pretty much. Michonne's on the other side of the fence of the prison, and she's looking right at Rick. So, blah, if you didn't want to know that already. But anyways, so, cut off the video, but I'm just going to say two things right now. My, things that I think that's going to happen next is that Maggie and Glenn's going to get tortured until they say, this is where we live, blah blah blah, this is how much stuff we have and everything. So that's just one thing. The other thing is that Michonne's going to tell Rick's group where Woodbury is. So that's it for there. That's my two explanations. like things that I think that's going to happen. And now I'm just going to say, if you don't, just cut off the video right now if you don't want to know who's on the phone. Okay, okay. Now I'm just going to say it. It's everybody who died in the show. Everybody pretty much who died in the show is now talking to Rick. Big thing we already knew in the comics, which I have piled up right in front of me right now. But we find out that it's pretty much Lori and a few other characters that died in the show. Well, that's it. That's it for the little review. So I'm gonna say see ya, and I'm gonna see you next week. And actually, I'm just gonna show this right now. I'm actually gonna put up the 2 unboxing over there with Black Ops 2 and Halo 4. If you just didn't want to know that already, but if you didn't already know that already, but anyways, see ya. Where's the button here?